What's going on, everybody, and welcome on into episode 266 of the Garage Beers podcast, brought to you here tonight on the OBR streaming network. The Orange and Brown Report is the best place in Cleveland, the oldest, largest independent Browns coverage site in all of the land. Make sure you're tuned in to the OBR.com and make sure you're following the socials at the OBR to keep up with all the latest Browns news. You're not going to get it better anywhere else, so make sure you're tuned in to the OBR. Also, go follow the show at the Garage Beers on all the socials, where you can join in all the fun. You get to hang with us once a week, but you can hang with us all week if you follow the socials at the Garage Beers on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. Joining you today, I'm your host, Michael Keefe. Find me online at Garage Beers Mike. And joining me from the east side of Cleveland out on the porch, it's Chad Meyer at Garage Beers. Chad, what's up, Chad?
Afternoon beers.
Afternoon
beers. How you doing?
I'm having an afternoon beer, so I'm good.
Look, are you? Well, I don't have one with me, but I have here with me the one who makes me want to drink beer. So
over here. Yeah. So listen, obviously you'll notice it's very light in the room that I'm in here in Springfield, Massachusetts. It's very light behind Chad. You can't even see his face because of all the backlight.
It's better. It's better that way.
It is. It works out better for all of you.
Yeah.
But again, we're not live tonight. If you're joining us on the live stream at 9:00, we are not live due to various reasons that are on my side. Namely, I don't have anywhere to record it with my family here in Springfield with me at 9:00 because that's bedtime. So we're just doing a quick one. We're calling this the quick one, Chad. Yeah. What are we making this one? We're making it
a quick one. Finally, I get my wish.
We're making this a quick one. We're going to do a quick afternoon. You're going to hang out with us for the next half hour or so as we dive into some of the latest stuff going on around the world of sports. So grab a beer anyways. I know Chad's not having one, but I am. My garage beer of the week this week. I was at Treehouse last night. I took Katie and the kids to Treehouse. It was awesome.
Oh, boy. Is that their first trip?
It's, first trip ever to Treehouse, and we had a good time. We had a great time.
Yeah.
Patrick had way too many beers.
Oh, God, I see. That's why he's just sitting there.
All right, he didn't drink one beer. He wants everybody to know. But
that's what they say. That's what they all say. This is called
the double ganger. And it's a I don't know if you know this about Treehouse, but they make IPAs.
Oh, really? No, didn't know that.
And they're really good at it.
Are they double dry hopped?
I don't think this one is. This is just a double IPA.
Yeah.
Delightful. 8.6%.
Nice.
Double IPA. Just a delight.
And if I did have a beer, I would probably go grab a Corona Light because it's so damn hot here today I'd be refreshing. Okay. Hayes is going to get me a beer. Hey.
Oh, go on, Hayes.
Let's go.
This is why you have kids, everybody. This is why
you
really have kids. All right, so you're going to get a Corona Light brought to you by Garage Beers Hazel. We love that for us. But Chad, again, it's kind of an unconventional episode. We're going to run through it really quick. We're still going to do our segments. We'll do our asshole of the week. We'll do our cheers of the week and all that. But we're going to just kind of quick hit through a couple of things that are going on in the world of sports because we're in a big week right now in the world of sports, and we didn't want to just pass up the opportunity to talk about it before it happened. So, Chad, I want to get started with the world of the NHL and the NBA. We're down to the final two teams in each league. Both those things are kicking off this week. The Stanley Cup Finals, the NBA Finals. Again, the two teams are set. It is a rematch. It's Edmonton and Florida in the Stanley Cup Finals, and it is a whole new set of teams in the NBA Finals.
That's
the
right.
Oklahoma City Thunder and the Indiana Pacers. There's your garage beer. Shout out to Hazel.
Yeah.
She gets a preemptive cheer of the week.
That's right. We're
bringing you beer. But Chad, let's start on the NHL side.
Sure.
We know how it went down last year with Florida running away with the Stanley Cup Finals over Edmonton.
Remember, they didn't run away.
Well,
it looked like they were going to, but Edmonton made a furious comeback.
I guess I just meant that they won. Maybe I should have just said
we'll
that.
go there.
Maybe I should have just said that. It's easier to say that anyways. Florida won the Stanley Cup Finals last year. I think every year you look for the defending champion to show some chinks in the armor.
Yeah.
And I think we all did that with Florida going into the playoffs this year. Like, they're probably, because odds are they're probably not going to go repeat. But, man, did they make a run through the Eastern Conference to make it back to the Stanley Cup Finals. And on the other side, it's an Edmonton team that's looked really, really good throughout the entirety of the postseason. So if it's going to work out different, Chad, if Edmonton's going to bring the first Stanley Cup back to Canada since Eisenhower, I think maybe, or I don't know,
Eisenhower.
like, since forever ago.
Yeah.
What's different about this series this year that makes you think Edmonton's got a better chance than they had last year?
Well, what's different about this year for the Oilers is that their depth is stepping up, right? In so many years past that it's always been McDavid and Draisaitl. Like, what are they going to do? How do you neutralize them? How do you just literally teams could have just focused on them, and you probably could have had success, but McDavid and Draisaitl are so damn good. They basically carried that entire team to the Stanley Cup final last year. But no, this year, the depth is stepping up, man. Corey Perry, Evan Bouchard. I mean, I know he was part of that run last year, but he's stepping up. Evander Kane is healthy this year. At least I hope so. I think he might have gotten injured, but I'll double check on that when I make my official prediction video tomorrow. Evander Kane stepping up. Yeah, Evander Kane is stepping up. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is stepping up. Part of that lottery line that really started this whole offensively skilled positions for Edmonton. So that's where it's coming from. And then that combined with Stuart Skinner's wake-up call in that Los Angeles series, because he's been good. He hasn't been great, but he's been very, very good. So this iteration, if they can get contributions from everywhere like this, and Florida doesn't have to concentrate on beating the shit out of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl and taking away the middle of the ice for them, because that's how you try to slow them down. But you're not going to, right? Like, right when Connor McDavid gets ahead of steam, I don't care what type of team you're playing. I don't care. Florida, who can beat you any style, nobody is stopping Connor McDavid if you allow him to get ahead of steam. But if they can continue to get contributions from everywhere, they got a real shot at winning the cup.
On the other side, Chad, again, it's a Florida team that won the cup. It's a Florida team that I think was impressive in the offseason because they didn't just rest on their laurels. They went out and just tried to even get better than the team that won the cup. It's a Florida team that made trades during the season. Obviously, seeing Brad Marchand there is just wild. Every time you see his face in a Florida jersey. But Florida is the state of Florida is just trying to maintain its stranglehold on the Stanley Cup, essentially, as Florida's really taken the mantle from Tampa, who just had a dynasty run, basically. And now it's the Florida Panthers, a team that's looking to make their own dynasty run. So, we sit and talk about what's different about the Edmonton Oilers and why we think maybe they've got a better shot than they had last year. And I totally agree with you, Chad, man. The depth stepping up, the amount of games that they've won without Draisaitl and McDavid doing their typical superhero stuff. It's a great thing to see.
Yeah.
But for Florida, what have they done enough? Because again, I think repeating as champion in any league, it's just one of the hardest things to do. Have they done enough? Have they maneuvered enough and done enough to put themselves? Do you think they're in the driver's seat for the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, I absolutely can, because I alluded to it a little bit when I was talking about the Oilers earlier, but this is a Florida team that can beat you in 6 ways from Sunday. They can beat you in any way, any style that you want to play. They can beat you at, because they have it all. They have speed. They have some skill. They're not the most skilled team, but they have speed. They have the physicality, and they know each other so well that and you can tell with the chemistry on the ice that they have. They know where each one of them is going to be on every line, by the way, on every line. And then, and you alluded to earlier, Mike, the Rat is down on the Rats team. It's kind of actually fitting for how weird it is to see him in a Florida jersey, but yeah, Marchand was the perfect addition for them, because they were missing a little bit of secondary scoring there in the regular season. They were missing something on that second line, and sure enough, they found it at the very last minute. By the way, this was like the 11th hour deal made to get Brad Marchand on the Florida Panthers, and
definitely
obviously
deadline.
Yeah, and obviously when you add someone like that to an already Stanley Cup championship team. It's even more dangerous. I didn't even think they could get more dangerous, but yet somehow they have. So yeah, it's and then of course you got Bob. Bob looks like he Bob looks like it's going to take about 50 shots to get one goal in. That's what he's looked like in the playoffs so far. But again, anytime, and that's where the interesting part to this for me is, right, is yes, Bob has been a brick wall, right? And their defense, they just beat the living shit out of you in the neutral zone and in their own zone. Florida does. But anytime you have the two greatest players in the world right now in Draisaitl and McDavid, that's an equalizer, right? Because if McDavid gets into the open ice and gets ahead of steam and gets it behind the defense, it's over for Bob. like it is over. Yeah. The puck's going in the back of the net. This is such, with the way the entire Edmonton team is stepping up and with the way Florida looks like. I mean, because Florida, every time it looked like Florida was down, and nothing was more evident of that than in the last game when they won in the series clincher against Carolina. Carolina was leading 2-0 at the end of that first period. All of a sudden, 7 minutes into the second period, it's 4-2 Florida. So they can score in bunches as well. So that Edmonton defense is really going to need to step up. They should have Matthias Ekholm, who's their best defenseman, back as well. But so that Edmonton defense is going to have to step up. That Florida is going to have to be fast in defending, but they're also going to have to be fast on the offensive end as well. And I can't wait. This should be absolutely an epic rematch because Florida is not really that different from last year, but Edmonton is completely different from last year.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. What'd you make of that moment after the Eastern Conference Finals ended between Paul Maurice and Rod Brind'Amour out on the ice, sharing some words with each other?
Yeah, obviously, at first I was like, "What the hell's going on here? Like, why does it look like they're having a heated discussion?" But when I heard Paul Maurice's explanation after that, I loved it. I mean, I loved it. I loved it. Yeah, I mean, it's giving. It's all about the players. He's always been that way too. All about the players. It's why his players love him and they play so hard for him, is because he's a guy. He's demanding, but he's so fair. And guys just love him. So yeah, I completely agree with completely love why he wanted the players just to be in the handshake line.
Yeah, I don't know that Rod Brind'Amour's a guy I'd want to fight though either. So, you got to take that into account.
What's that?
I said, I don't think Brind'Amour's a guy I'd want to fight.
No. Well, they don't call him Rod the Bod for no reason.
Correct. That Rockin' Bod. Rod.
Right.
Oh my God, there's so many names. Okay, again, we're making it a quick one, so let's switch over because we got the NBA Finals going as well. The Indiana Pacers just did what they've done to every team in the postseason, including our Cleveland Cavaliers, where they let New York think for a minute that they had a shot.
Yeah,
they had no shot. Indiana controlled Game 6 from the opening tip. New York never had a chance in that game. I was in New York this weekend. I was in New York Saturday night. And man, walking around the city, you just heard all these people screaming and hollering, Nixon 7. Nah, it was Pacers in 6. And never had a shot. The Indiana Pacers on their way to play for their first NBA title since Reggie Miller days when they lost to the Lakers. They are going to take on what looks to be juggernaut team of the NBA, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've been one of the top two teams along with the Cavaliers all season long. But it's a fun storyline, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander talked about it. These are the teams with the two best records in the NBA since January 1st. These are the two hottest teams in the NBA, and they've made it all the way to the end, and they're tipping off. It is the number one defensive team in the league by far in the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's the MVP of the league in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going up against this wild story that is the Indiana Pacers. Chad, man, what's the rooting interest here? What's the rooting interest?
Well, I told, I think I said this last week, when I don't have a dog in the fight, I usually root for the team that it's gone the longest without winning a championship. And the Oklahoma City Thunder do not claim any of the Seattle Supersonics history. So really they've never won a championship. So I'm pulling for the Thunder here. Although Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he's annoying to watch, but I just love the I just love the fact that it's a bunch of young guys that, I just love that this is a Thunder team that's basically built from scratch. I mean, you hear all the stories right? You hear all the stories about how this is the Paul George finals. And with the 11 billion draft picks that Sam Presti collected from that Paul George trade, I don't know. I can't help but really like the Thunder. All right. I mean, I'm not going to, but I won't be upset if the Pacers win. But I guess I'm pulling for the Thunder.
Well, it's not like the Pacers have won an NBA championship in the last, since.
Have they ever won?
Since I don't remember. I don't know that they have, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I should know that. And I feel like I feel stupid for not knowing that. But regardless, it's two teams. Again, even if you gave the Thunder the Seahawks or the Supersonics history, not going to get a lot from that.
No, zero. They've never won a championship. So I'm right. So you know what? I just want a great series. And whoever wins, wins.
One of these two teams is putting that gold stripe on the back of their jersey for the first time.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think that's cool. Listen, I in my head am going, all right, Shea, MVP.
Yeah.
Chet Holmgren, awesome. Defensively, the Thunder are unbelievable. The way they play offense is unbelievable. They're stifling, and yet they're fast at the same time. They want to slow it down and speed it up all at one time. It's weird. You don't know how to keep up with them. You don't know how to play them. And it's been evident in the playoffs. No team's figured it out. And so I want to sit here and be like, yeah, it should be Thunder in 5. And it really should be Thunder in 5.
Yeah.
Not this Pacers team.
Nope.
Not this Pacers team. I don't know that I've ever seen a run by a team like this.
Right.
The way that they're winning. The way that it's these guys that you didn't even like. If we were to let's say the Pacers and the Cavs were playing the first series of the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of guys that have made themselves names in the NBA who I probably wouldn't have even talked about in like a preview.
Right.
And that's what the Pacers have done. And then when you factor in like Pascal Siakam, he wins the MVP of the Eastern Conference Eastern Conference Finals. Tyrese Halliburton is putting together a stretch of play that is like Steph Curry-like.
Right.
He reminds me of Steph Curry right now. He's certainly not that kind of a shooter, but when he goes on a run, when you're in like the end of the fourth quarter and it's like, oh, could the other team come back? And he's just burying threes from the logo. Like, no, the other team can't come back. They are on this run, this miraculous run where they are awesome. And I think they're really well coached. I think Rick Carlisle's got them ready to go every night. And I'm going to pick the Thunder to win the series.
Right.
I'm not going to be surprised if they don't.
Right.
You add on the greatest celebration I remember seeing in my entire life. I remember the Reggie Miller choke.
Yeah, me too.
I remember it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when Halliburton hit that shot in Madison Square Garden and hit him with a choke, you could hear Reggie in the broadcast just like he could hardly contain himself.
Yeah.
It's the greatest callback celebration in history.
Right.
Easily
I agree.
The greatest callback celebration
I agree.
in history.
Yeah.
I went from being salty about the Cavs losing to the Pacers to in one moment when Tyrese Halliburton did that in Madison Square Garden where Reggie Miller did it. In one moment, I went, oh, shit, I love this team.
Let's go.
I'm cool if they win. It is not going to surprise me in the slightest if the Pacers win the NBA Finals.
Yeah, you know, it's the one thing I'm going to be really, really interested in watching is how the Thunder adjust defensively. I mean, I know they're going to be great, right? I know they're a great defensive team to begin with, but they want to force you to shoot threes. And what do the Pacers do? Make threes. So it's going to be an interesting to see how they adjust. The Thunder attack the Pacers defensively.
Yeah. All right, this is the Make It a Quick One episode because we're recording this earlier in the day here on this beautiful Tuesday, first Tuesday in June 3rd, having a couple of afternoon beers. But we are still going to do some of our things. So, Chad, do you have an asshole of the week for us that you can share with us?
Yeah, I sure do. It's people who come to a complete stop before making a turn. What are you doing?
Like not at a red light or a stop sign? Just
not at a red light or a stop sign. Just all out.
Their driveway?
Just driveway or like stopping into a gas station before a light. Like you can go. Like I'm not a road rage guy, but like the fact that you're just like dead stop, like all stop and then like easing around the turn. Come on, get going. Okay,
bruh, you're not going to flip the car if you go 5 miles an hour around that turn.
Yeah, what are we doing?
A little gas.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to steal one from you because you something happened and it hit a nerve with you, and you made a tweet on our page today, and I loved it. But like engagement farmers on social,
Oh God,
just so annoying. This clown, and it got all the engagement that he wanted.
Yeah,
So
100%.
including from us. But the perfect example, I'm not even going to call him out because screw you. You don't need me to.
Yeah.
You have a crappy account. This idiot account comes out and says, like, we haven't talked enough about how badly the Cleveland Browns have botched the quarterback situation. And it goes into this whole diatribe about Flacco and Shadur Sanders, and then really hits the nail on the head with Baker Mayfield and how they got rid of Baker Mayfield and blah, blah, blah. And the fact that guy started his tweet with the phrase, we haven't talked enough about, it's all we've talked about for 1,000 years.
We've talked about it too much.
All he's trying to do, all this dude is trying to do is get you to jump in and engage with what he's saying. And it works. Yeah. It works. But man, it's so annoying. You talked about, to compare it to what we just talked about, the NBA playoffs, and watching guys like Jalen Brunson or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, where they're desperately playing for James Harden playing for fouls, trying to get to the line. They call him, well, they call him a lot of different things, but like it's kind of that you can respect the fact that like it's working, but at the same time, stop it. Play the game the right way.
Right.
Maybe have a social media page that has substance to it instead of just engagement farming.
Right.
It's nonsense.
Right.
I'd rather have 2,000 followers and like not be that.
Right. Be honest.
So that's mine.
Yeah.
All right, a couple more quick hitters.
Oh, hey, real quick before we get off it, the NBA. Tibbs getting fired. What do you think?
Weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
I don't. I can see from a front office perspective, they put so much into the Knicks this year, right? They go out and they trade for Karl Anthony Towns, and they make the trade for Bridges, and they invested so much into winning this year to get bounced again before you reach the NBA Finals, and frankly, to have the kind of year that they had, they weren't great this year.
Right.
Like, I'm going to tell you what, the Pacers are on this run that they're on, and shout out to them, more power to them. But like, if the Cavs went up against the Knicks, I'm not afraid of that team in the slightest.
Me neither.
And so there's disappointment there for sure, even though they made, Tibbs said it in his post-game interview, like, we made progress. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals this year, where we lost in the second round last year or whatever, or I don't remember, or they won more games. I don't remember what it was, but like, I don't love it. I think sometimes I think we're just in this era. We're dealing with it with the Cavs right now. And I'm very grateful to have Kobe Altman and the front office of the Cavaliers. Winning a championship is the hardest thing to do. And sometimes you have to let a team ride it out.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, you have to look at that team like the Cavaliers, which is what I want them to do. Can you make minor improvements here or there? Yeah. That's going to really be their only option anyways. But like, for everybody, like, they got to find a way to trade Jared Allen and Darius Garland and blah. Do you have any idea how hard it is to win a championship? If you think trading Darius Garland instantly, no matter who you get back. Right. I shouldn't say no matter who, because there are better players, but Darius Garland's an all-star, man.
Right.
Very few guys are you going to get back that you're going to be like, cool, I feel like they're definitely just going to be a better team than having Darius Garland out there.
Right.
Or having Jared Allen out there. Like, just making moves to make moves because you think you have to make moves because you didn't win the championship is a stupid way to do business.
Right.
And I think it's a stupid firing on New York's part, because I think, again, very similar to what we saw with the Cavaliers. Yes, they traded JB Bickerstaff, but they left the team intact. They brought Kenny Atkinson in. They said, all right, now you put your imprints on this team. But JB had a chance to make his imprint on the team.
Right.
They basically gave Tom Thibodeau a very different roster than what they had last year.
The Knicks were a joke before he got there.
But they gave him a different roster. Even from last year to this year, it's a much different roster.
Right.
And they gave him 1 year to figure it out with this group of guys. And I think that's a bad way to do business.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like it. I'm not a big Tom Thibodeau fan anyways, but like, it wasn't my favorite move.
Right.
All right, quick hitters. I'm going to hit on Shadur Sanders for 1 minute because I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
Is anybody else getting to the point where they kind of feel bad for him?
Kinda. Yeah.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Sure.
Pre-draft stuff aside, since the dude has been a Cleveland Brown, I haven't seen him do one thing where I'm like, oh, I wish he didn't do that.
Right.
I haven't heard him say one word publicly where I was like, oh, I wish he didn't say that.
Right.
I'm not saying anything about the guy. Again, he's a 5th-round pick. He's got a shot of being cut. Like, that's what a 5th-round pick is. He's not going to be cut. I know this. Right. But, like, he's a 5th-round pick. But he's so scrutinized. Everything this guy is doing is scrutinized. And you've got this group of people that are just like, he can't do anything. I don't know why we're following a 5th-round pick around the way that we are. Just leave the kid alone. He's showing up to practice. He's there early. He's leaving late. He's hanging out with his offensive linemen. He's hanging out with his fellow quarterbacks. I don't know if he's going to be any good or not. You can't tell the future on a 5th-round pick. If he's good, then they hit the lottery, and that's great. But, like, I'm starting to feel bad for the fact that he just can't
catch a break.
It feels to me like he just wants to kind of, maybe he wants to be a star, but he kind of understands where he's at.
Right.
And, like, there's going to have to be work that goes into it. And yet, every time I open something up, it's like, prima donna Shedeur Sanders or whatever. And I'm like, he hasn't shown that at all. Like, that hasn't happened at all.
Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing he's done to merit this at all. He's been nothing but, by all accounts, he's been nothing but a good teammate. He's been going in there and, like you said, showing up for work. And people just, because of all the scrutiny and because of the fame that comes with his name, people are paying attention to this because people thought he should have been a 2nd-round pick instead of dropping to the 5th round. They're paying too much attention to him right now. And by all accounts, he's come in with the right attitude. He's just working, and he's there. He's there to learn. He's there to improve. He's there to be a good teammate. And to his credit too, all of this scrutiny, everything, he's not engaging with any of it. He's only engaged with the Rolls Royce thing, and that's fine. You want to get out ahead of that stuff and call out a lie? Fine, great. He's outside of that though. He's engaged with none of it. He's doing everything right at the moment, and let Boog handle your dirty work for you, right? Yeah. Just leave the kid alone and let him work. It's going to be week 2 of minicamp, and we're going to kind of forget about this, until training camp starts. And then when he finally does come into training camp, that's when it can restart. So he's going to get a little break here shortly, but just let the kid come in and work. All right. He's a 5th-round pick.
Yeah. Real quick, as we're doing quick hitters, because we're making it a quick one. How about the Guardians, man? The Cleveland Guardians still have the 3rd best record in the American League.
Which is crazy to think about.
Big series coming up. Couple things. One, the way people talk about the Guardians is not right. Everybody's acting like they're beating up on bad teams and they're not playing well against good teams. They have a winning record against teams with a 500 record or better. They're like 18-12 or something like that against teams with a 500 record, or maybe it's 18-15, whatever it is. They have a winning record against winning teams, and they're crushing losing teams. Like, that's what good teams do. That's great. Big series coming up this week, starting tonight against the New York Yankees in New York. The last time the Guardians played the Yankees, they took 2 out of 3 from the Bronx Bombers. So Guardians going to look to steal a few wins away from the New York Yankees at home. But listen, all I want to bring up with the Guardians is some good news on the horizon. Report came out that Shane Bieber is looking at the end of June.
Yeah. Yep.
To make his return to the rotation. That would be unbelievable. What a need he will fill in.
Yeah. Hey, Jacob Tunis, DFA time.
You just got David Fry back.
Yeah.
Which, again, David Fry doesn't have a big enough sample size for me to be like, that's definitely going to be great.
Right.
But, man, if he can just be what he was last year.
David Fry's got to prove he's not a flash in the pan.
Yeah, hopefully he wasn't.
Yeah.
But if he can do what he did last year, huge pickup.
Yeah, for sure.
For this Guardians team. They're just doing, Chad, every time I think of the Guardians, I think of your words in my head. You love teams that fly under the radar.
Yes.
That's just what they're built for. They're just built to be the under the radar team.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I think the reason why people, not that I'm saying it's right, but I think the reason why people are like criticizing this team, right, as if they don't have a winning record against 500 teams or better, is because when they have lost, they lost bad. Like in the games that they do lose, they lose bad. but still the results are there. So you can't really argue with the results, right? And in baseball, it's kind of a however you can get it done situation. It's not, it doesn't have to be pretty, but as long as you're getting wins, it's who cares? Who cares what kind of style you're playing? This is the Guardians' identity. Scrappy, every now and then they're going to score 10 runs. Every now and then the bats are going to light on fire. It's a streaky offensive team, but they still keep finding ways to win. And right now they're 33-26, something like that. It's great. And it's the third record in the American League.
I know. It's actually funny. My buddy that I'm up here with is a Tigers fan, and man, they're so, when it comes to the run differentials, they're so different. The Tigers have had a few games where they've just blown other teams out.
Yeah.
So their run differential looks great. He was saying that to me the other day. We weren't even bringing it up. And he was like, yep, Tigers run differential does not tell the story because their offense has not been very good.
Yeah.
But they've had a few games where they just have blown the doors off the other team, and that is it. And I go, well, you're explaining the reverse of the Guardians. They've had like 5 losses this year that were like 11-1.
Right.
And then they're just playing better in the other games. Like the run differential does not tell the story.
Right.
But the additions of those guys, again, all you need is the Guardians to be in position at the trade deadline to be competitive. And there's plenty of guys on this roster that can be moved.
Yes.
But when you look at, again, I just can't get over what they're getting out of some of these guys. Daniel Schneemann and Gabriel Arias with that big hit in that game Saturday, where they came back. They were losing like 5-1 against the Angels. He gets the big hit.
He's the biggest story of the season for me. I mean, this is a guy who was on his last chance, right? He's out of options, just on his last chance, and boy, is he having a year.
I think between him and Schneemann, I mean, the fact that right now you got 2 guys that you are not mad about trotting out there at shortstop and second base. What's up, Garage Beers Fletch? What is he, a Minecraft villager?
What's that? Yeah, Minecraft villager. Yeah.
The fact that you got 2 guys that you're happy to throw Schneemann and Arias out there at shortstop and second base right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
So getting Bieber back, huge for the starting staff, especially with what they're battling. I mean, the starting pitching staff it's to me, it's like, I don't know what to compare them to, but it's like this unit that is just, it's consistently like, it's like they're constantly getting beat up left and right. They're banged and bruised, and yet they just show up and find a way to put together decent efforts. Like every night they're finding a way to put together something decent, even though they shouldn't be. It's wild. Right. So to get Bieber out there, humongous. I think that does nothing but give all the other guys confidence in that rotation. Like
it should. Absolutely, it should.
Adding Shane Bieber to this team could be like, it could send them on a bit of a tear, I think, because of what I think it does to the rotation.
Yeah, if Shane Bieber is Shane Bieber, this could quite possibly, I wouldn't say the entire season, but it's gonna turn a lot of things around.
Yeah. All right, listen, we had to make it a quick one. I have to make it a quick one. So we'll do the rules thing next week, Chad.
Okay.
We want to have a little bit of fun with it. We want to talk about some rules changes we want to see and some of the stupid ones that have happened this offseason in football and what they're talking about in other sports. But because we're making it a quick one, we're going to call it for episode 266, but we're not going to do it before we do our cheers of the week. So we're just going to call somebody out for doing something great. Chad, who's your cheer of the week going to this week?
My cheers goes to the city of Mentor. Tonight starts the Mentor Rocks concert series up there at the old Mentor Civic Center, and this city always does an incredible job. I mean, it's a free music concert series, and they always do an incredible job of finding those because they have some national recording artists.
Yep.
They always do an incredible job of finding bands that make you go, oh, I remember them. Like, wait, oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So listen to this, Mike. Are you sitting down? We've got Gavin DeGraw coming to Mentor Rocks. Mm-hmm. But we're following that up back to back with Uncle Cracker.
Oh, no.
Coming in, Uncle Cracker.
All right.
And then in 2 weeks, we have the Eli Young Band coming in, or a couple of weeks, Eli Young Band. Back to back, following that, back to back with Five for Fighting.
Oh, my God.
Opening up for them, Mike, Vertical Horizon. Not a big deal.
Man.
Not a big deal.
Oh, I might have to come for that.
Yeah.
Come for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You lost me a little bit at Uncle Cracker. That one.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I remembered them.
Oh.
It's the I remember them concert series up at the Mentor Civic Center.
My Mentor of the week is Mentor because it also has a Civic Center camp that I can just talk about.
They're at summer camp.
Let's go, Kate. All right. My cheer of the week is it's a service, if you will.
Okay.
My wife and kids flew out. They're hanging with me. We're leaving Massachusetts tomorrow. We're driving over to Niagara Falls. We're going to stay there for a couple nights. We're probably going to stop in Chautauqua, stay there for a night on the way home. We're just making a road trip of it, right?
Nice.
And Katie, as we were packing, she was like, hey, do I have to bring like a ton of stuff, or can I just pack some and we could do laundry at the hotel? And just me not thinking, I'm like, yeah, we could do it at the hotel. Well, I forgot after COVID. Like after COVID, they got rid of like the laundry services.
Yeah.
Well, they're back.
Oh, nice.
No, that's bad.
Okay.
The hotel laundry thing where you like fill out a form and it's like t-shirts, number, this is how much it is, dress shirts, whatever. Well, like a t-shirt is like $9 to wash.
Okay.
One t-shirt. One. And I'm like,
oh boy,
I don't know what we're gonna do. But she's like, we have to get the laundry done because like I didn't bring enough stuff to make it for this whole time. So I find this company. This one's called Washworks. I don't know. There's other ones, but it's like a laundry pickup and delivery service. This dude showed up at my hotel at like 8:30 this morning, picked up the laundry. We just left it at the front desk. He picked up just a bag of laundry. They take it, they clean it, they fold it, and he's going to deliver it tomorrow morning.
Nice.
That's a kick-ass service. And it was like $25.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Kick-ass service. That's getting my cheer. That's getting my cheer. That helped us out. So that gets my cheer.
Nice, man. Sweet. I got it.
Hey, Chad,
you know laundry service. I got to send you a video.
You know what we did tonight?
Huh?
We made
it a quick one.
Let's go. Hey, listen. We'll be back with a full-size, full-scale episode next week for episode.
Huge guest, by the way, possibly huge guest.
Well, let's go. I don't even know who it is, so I'm excited to talk to you as soon as we hit the end of the record here.
Yeah.
But thank you for hanging out with us just for this 35, 40 minutes that we had you on. Hopefully you had a good time. It was enough time to have a beer, talk sports, and listen, make sure you go follow us on the socials at The Garage Beers everywhere. Make sure you go to theobr.com. Make sure you get subscribed and get to the socials for the OBR to follow them there. Make sure you hit like or subscribe on YouTube or Twitch or wherever you're watching us tonight. And like I said, we'll be back next week for episode 267. Until then, for Joey, who's not even here because it's like lunch out in Seattle at this point, follow him online at Garage Beers Joe. Follow Chad at Garage Beers Chad. I am Michael Keefe at Garage Beers Mike. Go follow the show at The Garage Beers on the socials. And we'll talk to you next week for episode 267. Until then, cheers, everybody.